Hi everyone, welcome to English Story School, where we bring stories to life to help you master the English language, one tale at a time. Have you ever wondered what would happen if instead of running a race for physical endurance, we all participated in a marathon where every step forward was an act of kindness? Imagine the impact. What if each person's small gesture was a mile marker on a journey that changed the lives of others, while also transforming their own? Welcome to the concept of the Kindness Marathon, a race unlike any other, where the finish line isn't a place, but a feeling, a connection shared among people driven by the simple goal of spreading goodwill. The story begins in a small town where a group of friends decided to host an event like no other. Tired of the usual fundraisers and marathons that focus solely on athletic ability, they wanted something different. They envisioned a marathon not marked by speed, but by generosity. The rules were simple. For 30 days, participants were challenged to perform acts of kindness, big or small, and share their experiences. It didn't matter if you were buying a coffee for a stranger, helping a neighbor with groceries, or simply offering a few words of encouragement to someone in need. Every act was a step forward in this marathon, creating a ripple effect of kindness. But why does kindness matter so much? The truth is, it's more powerful than we realize. Acts of kindness are not only beneficial to the recipient, but also to the person giving. Scientifically, kindness triggers the release of oxytocin, sometimes called the love hormone, which boosts mood and lowers stress levels. Kindness in this way becomes contagious, as one person's kindness often inspires others to pay it forward. It's a marathon of positive energy, one that anyone can join at any time. As the kindness marathon unfolded, something extraordinary began to happen. At first, many of the participants saw it as a challenge, an opportunity to check off boxes on a list of good deeds. Some thought of it like any other marathon, where the goal was to reach the finish line as quickly as possible. But soon, it became clear that this marathon wasn't about speed or endurance. It wasn't about winning in the traditional sense. Instead, the true victory lay in the experience of the journey and the profound impact it had on everyone involved. Day by day, act by act, the participants began to realize that this wasn't just about the kindness they were showing others. It was also about what they were receiving in return. The small, seemingly insignificant acts of generosity began to weave an invisible thread that connected people in ways they hadn't anticipated. As they moved through this marathon of compassion, they found that the real magic wasn't in reaching the end, but in how they were changing, both as individuals and as a community. People from all walks of life joined in, adding their unique flavors of kindness to the mix. Parents saw the event as an opportunity to teach their children about the importance of giving, and soon entire families were participating. A mother helping her child donate toys to a shelter was not just giving material items, it was planting seeds of empathy and compassion that would continue to grow in that child's heart. The experience became a bonding moment, where parents and children didn't just perform acts of kindness, they experienced the joy of giving together. These moments strengthened family ties, creating memories that went far beyond the usual routines of daily life. Meanwhile, the marathon began to break down invisible barriers within neighborhoods. People who had lived next door to each other for years but had never spoken more than a few polite greetings suddenly found themselves connecting. It might have started with a simple gesture, one neighbor helping another carry groceries or offering a ride to someone who needed it. But soon, these small moments of kindness blossomed into deeper connections. Conversations that had once been limited to good morning turned into shared stories, laughter, and even new friendships. The marathon was transforming the community, turning strangers into neighbors and neighbors into friends. One of the most beautiful aspects of the Kindness Marathon was that there was no competition. Unlike typical races, where there's a winner and a loser, this was a race where everyone who participated became a winner simply by spreading compassion and positivity. The finish line didn't matter, because the real reward was in the journey itself. Participants discovered that the true purpose of the marathon wasn't external. It wasn't about receiving recognition or praise. It was internal, about how they felt while giving, about the joy of seeing someone else's face light up because of something kind they had done. Even those who might have felt skeptical at the start found themselves drawn into the energy of the marathon. Someone who began by doing a small favor for a colleague or paying for a stranger's coffee soon realized how good it felt to make someone else's day just a little bit better. And as they continued to give, they found that kindness was not a one-way street. Every act of generosity, no matter how small, created a ripple effect. That smile they gave to a stranger might have been passed on to the next person that stranger encountered. The Kindness Marathon wasn't just about individual acts. It was about creating a wave of positivity that grew larger and larger as more people participated. The participants soon realized that the Kindness Marathon was not just transforming others, it was changing them too. They became more attuned to the needs of others, more aware of opportunities to help, and more conscious of the impact that even the smallest act of kindness could have. And in the process, they experienced something powerful: the understanding that the more kindness they gave, the richer their own lives became. In the end, it didn't matter how many acts of kindness a person performed or how grand those acts were. There were no trophies, no medals, no prizes to be won. What mattered was that everyone had contributed to making the world just a little bit better, even if only for a short while. They had participated in a marathon that wasn't measured in miles, but in moments of connection, empathy, and humanity. And in doing so, they had all crossed the finish line together, forever changed by the kindness they had given and received. What made the Kindness Marathon truly special was not just the local impact it had on the participants and their immediate communities, it was the way it exploded beyond the confines of the town where it started. The seed of the marathon may have been planted in one small place, but it quickly grew into something much larger, something global. And a key player in this transformation? Social media. In today's connected world, a simple act of kindness can go far beyond the person standing next to you. With a single post, tweet, or video, your gesture can inspire people across continents, from bustling cities to remote villages. That's exactly what happened with the Kindness Marathon. It wasn't long before participants in the original event began to share their stories online, using platforms like Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook to document their acts of kindness. What started as personal reflections quickly evolved into a movement as more people began sharing their experiences. Imagine scrolling through your social media feed, and instead of seeing the usual posts, you come across heartwarming stories of people helping others, giving back, and going out of their way to make a difference. These stories didn't just capture moments of kindness, they captured hearts. People who had never even heard of the Kindness Marathon were suddenly inspired to join in. They saw how simple acts, like paying for a stranger's meal or volunteering at a local shelter, could spark a chain reaction of goodwill. Before long, hashtags like #KindnessMarathon and number acts of goodness started trending. The beauty of these hashtags was that they acted like virtual beacons, guiding people toward this shared mission of spreading kindness. Every time someone used them, they weren't just sharing their own story, they were inviting others to be part of something bigger. The effect was profound. As more and more posts appeared, it created a sense of collective action, a feeling that the world, despite its many challenges, was united by something pure and positive, the desire to be kind. Soon, the Kindness Marathon had broken free from the boundaries of geography. What started as a small-town initiative became a global phenomenon. Communities in other cities, states, and even countries began to embrace the concept. People from all over the world were participating, proving that kindness truly knows no boundaries, whether cultural, geographical, or linguistic. It didn't matter where you lived, what language you spoke, or what your background was. Everyone could participate in this marathon of compassion. In one country, a group of students organized a day of community service inspired by the posts they had seen online. In another, a neighborhood pooled together to help a struggling family, inspired by stories of generosity shared through the hashtag. The marathon transcended borders, connecting people from different walks of life who otherwise would never have met, all through the common language of kindness. The power of social media in this movement can't be overstated. It turned what could have been a small, local event into a worldwide movement. It gave people the tools to share their kindness stories with the world, and in doing so, it encouraged others to do the same. The viral nature of the marathon's spread meant that the ripple effect of kindness became almost unstoppable. Every act inspired another, and each story reminded people that no matter how divided the world may seem, kindness is a universal value that everyone can understand. People who might have felt isolated or powerless to make a difference suddenly found themselves connected to a community of like-minded individuals. Social media, often criticized for its divisiveness, became a platform for unity, for spreading something undeniably good. Participants no longer felt like they were just doing small acts in their corner of the world. They became part of a global marathon, one that stretched across borders and oceans, where every act of kindness brought us all a little closer together. And it wasn't just individuals who took notice. Organizations, companies, and even celebrities began to get involved, leveraging their platforms to spread the message even further. Schools and universities adopted the concept, challenging their students to participate. Businesses encouraged their employees to give back to their communities, and nonprofits saw a surge in volunteers. The ripple effect of the Kindness Marathon had grown into a wave of compassion that seemed unstoppable. The marathon was no longer just about the people in that small town, it was about everyone, everywhere, coming together in a shared mission to make the world a better place. Social media had done what it does best when used for good. It connected people, amplified positive messages, and made the unreachable reachable. From major cities to rural communities, from different cultures to different generations, the Kindness Marathon showed that kindness isn't confined to any one place or person. It's a universal force that, when unleashed, has the power to change the world. In the end, the viral nature of the Kindness Marathon wasn't just about the number of posts, shares, or likes. It was about the real-world impact it had. Millions of people were inspired to take part, and as a result, countless lives were touched by kindness. This marathon didn't need a physical course or a specific location to thrive. It grew wherever kindness was planted, proving once again that the smallest acts can have the biggest impact when shared with the world. But how can you start your own kindness marathon? The idea might seem grand, but the truth is, it's far simpler than you think. You don't need to organize a massive event or rally hundreds of people to make a difference, although that's certainly a possibility down the road. It all begins with something small, something personal, and something achievable. It starts with you, and with one small but powerful commitment, a daily act of kindness. Picture this. You wake up each morning and make a conscious decision to perform one act of kindness, no matter how big or small. This could be as simple as holding the door open for someone, offering a genuine compliment, or taking a few minutes out of your day to check in on a friend. These acts may seem minor, even trivial, but the beauty of kindness is that it has a way of multiplying. The smile you give to someone as you hold that door open might be the brightest moment of their day, a small kindness that could inspire them to pass it on to the next person they meet. The ripple effect begins with you. Let's say you start small. Maybe on day one, you simply smile and greet a stranger on the street. It's an easy gesture, something that doesn't take much effort, but the impact can be profound. You don't know what that person is going through. Perhaps they've had a rough day, or they've been feeling invisible. Your smile acknowledges their presence, and suddenly, they feel seen. That little spark of positivity you shared could be just what they needed to shift their mood, to approach the rest of their day with a little more optimism. And who knows, that smile might inspire them to spread kindness themselves, creating a ripple effect you never anticipated. Now imagine making that same commitment every single day. It doesn't have to be grand, just consistent. The goal is to build a habit of looking for opportunities to be kind in every situation. As you go about your day, you'll start to notice these opportunities more and more. Maybe it's offering your seat on the bus to someone who needs it more than you. Maybe it's helping a colleague with a task that isn't technically your responsibility but could really ease their workload. Or perhaps it's simply taking the time to listen to someone who needs to talk, offering them a space to feel heard and understood. The key is that these acts of kindness don't have to be monumental to be meaningful. The real magic lies in their consistency and in the mindset shift that happens when you make kindness a daily priority. As you continue, you'll notice something interesting. You'll stop looking for opportunities to be kind, because being kind will become second nature. It will no longer be something you have to think about or plan for. It will be an instinct, something that's just part of who you are. But what if you want to take it a step further? What if that daily act of kindness ignites something in you, something bigger? Maybe you decide to get others involved. Family, friends, neighbors, co-workers. You could start by encouraging them to join you in your daily challenge. Imagine a group of people, each performing their own small act of kindness every day. The collective impact would be incredible. Suddenly, you're not just making a difference on your own. You're part of a growing movement of kindness, one that's spreading through your community, creating bonds and uplifting everyone it touches. And once you've built that momentum, who knows where it could lead? You might find yourself organizing a charity event to support a cause close to your heart. You could rally your friends and family to volunteer at a local shelter, or perhaps you'll organize a neighborhood cleanup to give back to the place you call home. The possibilities are endless, but they all start with that one simple commitment: to be kind every day. One of the most beautiful aspects of starting your own kindness marathon is that there are no limits or rules. It's entirely up to you how you choose to spread kindness. Whether it's through small, everyday gestures or larger community-driven initiatives, every act counts. And as you continue, you'll likely notice a shift, not just in the people around you, but in yourself as well. Kindness has a way of transforming both the giver and the receiver. The more you give, the more connected you feel to the world around you. You start to see the beauty in small moments, and your perspective shifts from one of scarcity to one of abundance. Abundance of empathy, of understanding, and of connection. It's also worth noting that this kindness marathon doesn't have to end. Unlike a traditional marathon, there's no finish line, no final destination. Instead, it's a journey that evolves over time, growing and expanding as you continue to practice kindness. The more you give, the more opportunities for kindness you'll find, and soon your marathon will become a way of life. And here's the best part. Your kindness marathon has the potential to inspire others, even beyond the people you directly interact with. As you share your journey, whether through social media, conversations, or simply leading by example, you're planting seeds of kindness in others. They may see what you're doing and think, I can do that too. And just like that, your kindness marathon becomes part of a much larger movement. A movement that crosses borders, cultures, and languages. A movement that proves kindness is universal and can be practiced by anyone, anywhere. So how do you start your own kindness marathon? It's simple. Take that first step. Perform one act of kindness today, then another tomorrow. Before you know it, you'll be well on your way, and the world will be just a little bit brighter because of it. For those who want to elevate the idea of the kindness marathon to a new level, why not take the journey with others by creating a collective kindness marathon? This is where the magic truly begins to multiply. Kindness, at its core, is about human connection. So what better way to amplify its impact than by involving a group of friends, family, or community members? The act of coming together with a shared goal not only deepens the meaning behind each gesture, but also fosters a sense of unity and collective purpose. Think about it. You gather a small group of people. Maybe it's your close friends, your co-workers, your neighbors, or even your family. Together, you set a challenge for yourselves, something that will stretch beyond individual kindness and create something truly powerful. You could decide on a timeline, perhaps a week, a month, or even a season, where each person commits to performing daily acts of kindness. The beauty of this approach is that it turns the marathon into a shared experience, where each participant is both a giver and a witness to the ripple effects of kindness. Imagine the excitement as you explain the concept to your group. You lay out the plan. For the next month, let's each do one act of kindness every day. It doesn't matter how big or small the gesture is, as long as it's intentional. The challenge is both simple and profound, designed to fit into the rhythm of daily life, while creating waves of positivity. One of the most powerful elements of this collective marathon is the decision to document your acts of kindness. Encourage everyone in the group to write down what they did each day, how it made them feel, and any reactions they noticed. This documentation could take many forms. Some might jot down notes in a journal, others could take photos, and some may even record short videos. The point is to capture the journey, not just the destination. These small acts of kindness, when documented, become part of a larger narrative that reflects the true power of compassion and connection. Now, imagine the build-up throughout the timeline you've set. Every day, members of your group are out in the world, performing their small or large acts of kindness. Maybe one person buys a coffee for a stranger, another spends time visiting an elderly neighbor who's been feeling lonely, while someone else helps clean up a local park. Each person's story adds a new thread to the growing tapestry of kindness. The best part? These stories have a way of intertwining. As people begin to realize that kindness, like laughter, is contagious. One act often leads to another, and soon, your entire group is not only spreading kindness, but also noticing how it's coming back to them in unexpected ways. As the marathon progresses, an invisible bond forms among the participants. They may not all be physically together each day, but they are connected through this shared mission. Each act of kindness becomes part of a collective effort, and every person involved feels the joy of knowing they are contributing to something bigger than themselves. You'll start to hear stories from group members about how their actions were received, how a smile changed someone's day, how a small gesture of help brought comfort, or how simply listening to someone made them feel heard and valued. These individual acts, when pooled together, create an overwhelming sense of community and togetherness that everyone can feel. The real magic happens when the timeline comes to an end and you gather everyone to share their experiences. Whether it's in person or through a virtual meeting, this moment of reflection is incredibly powerful. As people take turns sharing what they did and what they learned, you'll start to see just how impactful this collective marathon has been. Some will tell stories of heartwarming interactions, others might share moments of personal growth. There may even be stories of how they saw kindness return to them in unexpected ways. This gathering isn't just about patting yourselves on the back for doing good deeds. It's about recognizing how deeply kindness can touch lives and how much stronger we all become when we lift each other up. As each story is shared, a sense of community is solidified. Everyone walks away not only with the satisfaction of knowing they made a difference, but also with the realization that their actions were part of a much larger, interconnected whole. The feeling of togetherness is palpable, and it's something that transcends the time-limited marathon. The relationships forged through this shared experience are lasting, rooted in the shared mission of spreading kindness. But the journey doesn't have to end there. The group could choose to continue the marathon, setting new timelines and new goals. Perhaps the next challenge is to extend the acts of kindness beyond the local community and into neighboring areas, or even to collaborate with other groups doing similar initiatives. The possibilities are endless. You could even decide to expand the circle by inviting more people to join the next round. The collective energy that began with just a few people can grow into a movement where kindness spreads like wildfire through communities, cities, and even beyond borders. Moreover, this collective kindness marathon could inspire others. Imagine the impact when people see your group's documented acts of kindness on social media or hear about it through word of mouth. Just as social media spread the kindness marathon globally, your collective efforts could spark a chain reaction. Other groups might form their own marathons, inspired by your dedication and commitment. The ripple effect becomes exponential, and your initial group effort could lead to a kindness movement that touches countless lives. At its core, a collective kindness marathon is about more than just the individual acts themselves. It's about building a sense of community and reinforcing the idea that together we can make the world a better place. Each act of kindness contributes to a larger story, one that shows the true power of human connection. By creating a shared experience around kindness, you not only inspire others, but also deepen the bonds within your own group, creating a legacy of compassion and togetherness that lasts long after the marathon ends. So, gather your friends, your family, your community, and take that first step together. Set your timeline, document your journey, and at the end, come together to celebrate the impact you've made. You'll find that the joy of spreading kindness is multiplied when shared, and the sense of belonging that comes from working toward a common goal will stay with you long after the marathon is over. The kindness. Marathon doesn't require you to be an athlete. It requires only that you have an open heart and a willingness to make the world a better place, one small step at a time. Whether you're making someone's day with a compliment or supporting a larger cause, every act counts. It's not about how fast you can go, but about how far your kindness can reach. So, are you ready to take part in the kindness marathon? With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.